Good evening, everyone. I'm Rabbi Joy Levitt. I'm the executive director here at the JCC in Manhattan, and it's my honor to be with you tonight on what is always a kind of bittersweet night for us as we close the 9th annual ReelAbilities Film Festival. Indeed. And really, I want to applaud you for coming back every night, every year, to this extraordinary festival. This has been an amazing week of films, conversations, and special events, all highlighting inclusion, diversity, and authenticity. This year's ReelAbilities included more feature narrative films than ever before, and almost all included portrayals and actors with disabilities. Indeed, indeed. These films were not only authentic, they were exciting, they were emotional, creative, dramatic. In short, they were great movies. This is proof that you can have high quality and inclusivity together. I challenge you to find a festival with better films that have more impact. This doesn't just happen. It happens because people like you and people all across this country see this vision of ours and help to support it. And I particularly tonight want to thank the New York Community Trust, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, NYSCA, UJA Federation of New York, the Dobkin Family Foundation, the Ruderman Family Foundation, the J.E. and Z.B. Butler Foundation, FYI, Mongo Media, Bridge Multimedia, the Omer Foundation, Eurasia Foundation, forgive me for a point of personal privilege, Jordana and David Manzano, and Lynn and Alicia Wiesel, and Michelle and Jeff Faig, our JCC, what can I say? They're like a team of dedicated supporters of this festival. To know those 6 people is to have spent the last 3 months hearing about this film festival. And of course, the festival co-founder, my partner in this work, Anita Altman. It truly takes a village to make this festival possible. It operates, it works so magnificently because of the staff that is so dedicated to this project and works above and beyond what any staff person is reasonably expected to do. And I want to acknowledge them. Yotam Tubal, Ya'ara Kedem, Ravit Turjeman, and Isaac Zablocki. And now, please welcome one of our huge supporters, the Commissioner on Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, Victor Calise.
Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Great. Thank you, Rabbi. I appreciate the kind words. Love to support everything that ReelAbilities does, is, and part of the community, because it really is a community thing, and they've gotten the community here in several different ways. Ravit, Itzi, Yotam, and of course the great Anita Altman, thank you for putting this together. You guys are wonderful. It's a great partner to work with, and you get it, and you care about the community. Again, I'm really based on community. I love the community. So I feel that I get a little bit more out of it than everyone else. I'm able to come here and see some great films. And some of you that may have been in cabs may have seen the ads. And I got a lot out of that. The other night I was at an event called Faces, a Faces Gala for people with epilepsy. And I sat next to this guy and he's like, "This is great." I goes, "I'm so excited." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I've seen you in the cabs." And I just did it as a promotional for ReelAbilities, but I've gotten a lot of play out of it, I have to say. People on the street ask me, like, "Oh, I've seen you, Commissioner?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm usually the guy taking the bus. So the quality of films have been great. I've actually seen Sanctuary. The idea that people with intellectual disabilities have to live in homes in Ireland, and that they aren't allowed to be couples together, and how that law has changed and how films like that have brought it to light. Rebound, an American film. I love disabled sport, and seeing that and seeing how people with disabilities are just portrayed and show them that can-do attitude is important. View from Tall last night. How many people saw that? Yeah. I was conflicted every second I'm watching that. It's because I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen when she goes through this? And it's a long story, but you got to watch it. Simi and I were talking just before. It's like how troubling that was for me to watch. But what was great about that was the conversation before. And we had William H. Macy, we had R.J. Mitty, we had the producer of the film, we had ABC executives, recruiters, and Meyerson Zaid. And the conversation was about including people with disabilities in film. And it was great, it was awkward, and it was awkward in the sense because Meyerson was talking about the issues of including people with disabilities in film, and how she was upset that William H. Macy played a person with a disability, and that it should be a role only for people with disabilities and not played by an able-bodied actor. And it was contentious, but it needed to be said. It needed to be said on a view that people with disabilities need to be included in film, because when we're talking about diversity, we always forget that the D in diversity stands for disability. So, yeah. And the guests that we've had Cheryl Wills from New York One. We've had the great Danny Woodburn, who he makes me laugh every time he opens his mouth. R.J. Mitty, William H. Macy. And tonight with the closing with the Blind Boys of Alabama. Let's give it up for them. So as we talk about accessibility, the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities is working to make New York City the most accessible city in the world. And with that, we've written a statement, a report on the state of people with disabilities in New York City. We touch on several areas: transportation, how do we improve our transportation system? One of the things that people with disabilities live in is poverty. So we need to find a way to rise them up, and employment is the answer. So we're working to employ people with disabilities throughout the city. And we want to make sure that when we're looking at our education system, we're transitioning children from universal pre-K through high school in the proper way into jobs or into college the proper way. So we're working with that and making New York City more accessible by having access to city government, access to affordable housing, access to disability service facilitators through the agencies. One of the things that I'm proud of is making sure that in the cultural plan in New York City, that we are making sure that disability is paid attention to, disability is planned and implemented. We have great leaders that are working on that with ARPI on site, but more importantly, Simi Litton, who is doing some great stuff in the field. She's sitting on the board and making things change. Simi, thank you for being included in this process. Thank you for people like RP on site and ReelAbilities that are really pushing that change and making things happen. And just the other day, I was sitting, we had a meeting, and we have something called disability service facilitators throughout city agencies. And that never really existed. But we have over 30 disability service facilitators, and they are systematically changing the way that agencies are delivering services to people with disabilities in design and construction and program and services. And we're only going to expand on that and make that better. We were supposed to be doing this stuff since 1990. We got a lot of catching up to do, but nonetheless, we are proud of what we're doing, and New York City is becoming that benchmark as we move forward. So again, it's a pleasure. Oh, yep, please, go ahead. What? It is a pleasure to be here. more importantly, ReelAbilities continue the great work, and what's going to happen in the future, and the quality of films just keep increasing, and people with disabilities are part of the conversation, and it all starts here at ReelAbilities. So thank you, everyone, and let's watch a film.
Thank you, Commissioner Calise, for a beautiful recap of this week. And what a week. 7 days, over 100 screenings and events across 30 venues throughout 9 New York counties. Over 70 filmmakers and guest speakers engaging and conversing with thousands of audience members. There was something for everyone this week. I would like to thank the filmmakers who for the past 7 days ran around the different venues all around our region, sharing their films, insights, and experiences with our audiences. On this International Women's Day, I also would like to especially acknowledge our women filmmakers, and we are so proud to present the work of 14 women filmmakers in this year's festival. Including tonight's film. I would like to once again thank the festival co-founders, Anita Altman and Isaac Zablocki, for their vision and passion, to the JCC leadership, board, and staff members, and to the ReelAbilities Film Selection Committee, Council, and Advisory Committee. We simply could not have done this without you. Thank you. A big thank you to the small but mighty Film Festival team, Yotam Tubul and Yara Kedem, together with their army of interns and volunteers that help us throughout the year. Thank you so much. And actually, I'm very sorry to share with you that after this festival, our amazing team member, Yotam Tubul, whom I hope many of you had a chance to encounter during the last 2 years, he's leaving us to pursue his other passions and creativity. So we just have a little souvenir so you will not forget us from the festival, one of the films that we've presented, The Rebound. That's a real thing. Thank you, and we wish you success. Finally, thank you, our audiences. You're awesome. I see so many familiar faces, people like Commissioner Calise that were here every night. I almost felt that we cannot start a movie before they arrive because something must have gone wrong. So please stay in touch throughout the year, get involved, and be sure to be back for the 10th anniversary of ReelAbilities in 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Yotam, remember, it's all about how you rebound, right? That's something to remember here. Think about it. Folks, we usually, being accepted to this festival is, we like to think, an award enough, and we don't like to have a competition between our films. But we did want to give some honorary mention to some of our short films, because short films in general don't get enough attention, and really beyond the Academy Award competition, they don't manage to really reach a mainstream audience. And this year, as an honorary award, we selected one film to be acknowledged, and that is Jed's Day. Hey, who here got to see Jed's Day? A couple. Good. More need to see this. And that's by Madoka Rain. And of course, we hope this small acknowledgement will help push films like this forward. I also want to give a big acknowledgement to the director of Stutter, who's Ivo Wawa, who's seen, I think, every film in the festival and has been a committed member and gets the award, the attendance award for sure. I also wanted to note, one quick note that was handed to me is that, well, I'll start by saying that ReelAbilities is more than a film festival, and we're proud to be a part of a movement that promotes a more diverse and inclusive representation and portrayal of people with disability, both on film and television, and in our community through the arts in general. And this Friday from 3 to 5 p.m., the Commissioner of Cultural Affairs is having a meeting at the New York Historical Society down the block. And they're going to be discussing their cultural plan. And it's crucial for people with disabilities to be a major part of that. So please join that calling as well. And that's a great way to help support the cause. Together with us on this mission, our incredible supporters and partners have been an amazing part of this festival. Please visit our partners page to learn more about their work and continue to join the movement in different ways throughout the year. More people need to know about these kinds of festivals and this program and to see these amazing films. So we need your help to continue spreading the word. And we thank our partners for really being those who take the torch from here. I want to give a big thank you tonight to Arts Beyond Sight, and specifically to Elizabeth Axel. Elizabeth, are you here? I didn't get to see you before. I'm sorry. I didn't say hello to you. She will be leading the Q&A after the screening, and I want to highlight their Make It Real campaign and all of the work that they're doing to also be a part of this mission. I also want to give a shout out to the folks from JP Morgan. You guys here? Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part. Finally, before I get to tonight's film, I just want to mention, of course, Ravit Turjeman, the festival director, and for me to personally say from the bottom of my heart that saying that you're the director of the festival is really simplifying it. I think this there has to be a larger term for everything she does. She eats, sleeps, and drinks ReelAbilities 24/7. So, Ravit, thank you for absolutely everything. Tonight's film, How Sweet the Sound, The Blind Boys of Alabama, directed by Leslie McLeave, follows the band. She followed the band for 10 years and shows an honest view of these amazing artists, and we're so honored to have some of them here tonight. There'll be a Q&A, as mentioned, right after the screening, so stay for that. And then there'll be a reception upstairs. There you'll also have a beautiful taste of the display by Heidi Latsky that we had here on Saturday night. How many people got to see that? That Heidi had told me about this a million times and pitched me the idea, and I was always like, sounds great. I saw some images, sounds great. Then I saw it in person, and it blew my mind, and we're happy to have them back here. It's just a little taste of it for closing night. And I think without further ado, I'll say silence your cell phones, keep them in your pocket throughout the screening, no texting, please, and we'll see you right afterwards. Thank you very much.